everyone, AT here, one half of the So I Married a Record Collector duo, making a little solo video for you. As you notice, we've kind of stopped making videos here on YouTube. We've moved our account channel over to Instagram as it's a little less labor intensive to go through the collection and do the back and forth. But I wanted to do a video because I assume a lot of you are not on Instagram, so I just wanted to do a little video to help keep this channel active so you know we're not dead or the channel goes dead or something. I wanted to do a little video. We took a vacation back to New Jersey the end of May, beginning of June. Visited a few stores, bought some stuff. Heidi Lee bought a lot more stuff than me, Sparks. And we had a really great time visiting these three stores. So I thought, like I've been saying, I thought we'd do a video. Filming on the other side of the room right now, opposite the record rack, as again, a little less labor intensive because I don't have to move the piles of records in the listening columns, rows, out of the way. At the end of the video, I'll probably show a quick video of the state of the music room right now. So thanks for tuning in, and here we go with the first set of records. The first store we visited was the Vinyl Dinosaur in Bayville, New Jersey, on Atlantic City Boulevard. I believe this also has a highway number, I don't recall. Not far from where we were, in fact, near some relatives' homes. Nice little store, a bit cramped, but that's how record stores are. That's the thrill of discovery. Decent prices, really good selection, and a nice owner. He was very polite to us, and I wanted a t-shirt, but he didn't have my size, but he said next time he'll probably have them. And not that he won't do this for everybody, but since we were out of town, he gave us a slight percentage discount, at least on my purchases. I don't know if you saw on Heidi's. Heidi was just disappointed because she finally came across a copy of Sparks' Angst in My Pants on vinyl, but it was priced really high, more than what she wanted it for. She's like, I don't want it that bad, but she was a bit crestfallen. But I found a few things there. We'll start off. Actually, this is CDs. This was up on the wall for a mere $20. The Buffalo Springfield box set on Rhino from 2001. Really love the Buffalo Springfield. It's a shame they only lasted 3 years or 2 years and imploded. And they just had so much more in them, but all the personalities and conflicts and bad management just killed the band. Can't wait to dig into this. This is the sad thing. We've bought stuff with such speed. We haven't listened to a lot of everything yet, but it's complete. $20. I'm there. Only bought a few records there. First one, I first saw a picture of this in Ed Hanel's The Complete Who discography book, and I always wanted it because of the cover. This is Electric Tommy on the Chelsea label from 1975, but now the thing is I get home and I go to put this in Discogs and I already have it. I have the earlier pressing on Viva in lesser shape, but okay, record collector nerd thing, it's got a different cover. So I got two copies. It's kind of a, I don't remember what it sounds like. It's like a electronic, not Moog, but like electronic synthesizers and stuff doing most of the Tommy album. I guess this was reissued in '75 to capitalize on the release of the movie to get a little more money out of the cash cow, I guess. Next up, I didn't need this. This was one of those things where, like, I saw it, it was cheap, and I thought, why not? I've never had it on vinyl. The Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, their debut album, US copy on Imperial, only $5. Not in the greatest shape cover-wise, because as you can see, you can enter it from all four sides. But it has the original booklet that came with it, with all the drawings and, well, drawings and pictures inside. I've had one friend say I had to pay that much just to get the booklet. So that's just so you can. It's getting worse. It just comes apart. But again, just neat to have. I love the Bonzos. You know, I love old British stuff. And they had associations, of course, with the Beatles and the Who and other folks. This next one, I heard a song by this band on Michael Shelley's show on WFMU several years ago. And I've been looking for it, but I've taught myself that it only appears on a single, and it's not on their first album. But this is their second album. This is The Collectors, Grass and Wild Strawberries on Warner Brothers from '68. gatefold. It was up on the wall and I grabbed it. So I said, ooh, maybe that song I like is on there. But like I just said, no, it's a single only thing. They were a Canadian band. It's a bit pop psych. I haven't played it yet. And then they morphed into Chilliwack, who had hits, and I believe had a hit here in America. But this is on Warner Brothers on the green W7 label. Kind of an impulse purchase. Like when you're on vacation, I can buy as many records as I want. We were just grabbing everything as we had money saved. This next one, I saw somebody post this in the Facebook group for Now Playing, where everybody shows off their collections, and said it really isn't that bad of a pop album. Might be power pop. This is The Movies on Arista from 1976. I think they're British, because the back cover seems to be maybe a British neighborhood, but I see more American cars on there, so maybe they were American. The simple Arista label. No big deal. Again, I haven't played it, but I'm heard it's a good, decent pop rock album. I've seen this record around for years, and this was just like a few shekels, like $3. So that's what we got. I got at the Vinyl Dinosaur in Bayville, New Jersey. The next store we visited, and which was probably our most pleasant, happiest experience, was Randy Now's Man Cave in Hightstown, New Jersey. A very cool little store. For those who don't know, Randy Now was Randy Ellis, and he used to own and operate the City Gardens Rock and Roll Punk Rock Club in Trenton, New Jersey, where I saw the Ramones twice and Mudhoney once. It was in a terrible neighborhood. It was pretty much a dive, but it was a legendary place where a lot of legendary bands played. And Jon Stewart of The Daily Show used to bartend there, and I'm pretty sure, now that I think about it, I saw him there one of the 3 times I went. But Randy's is in a neat little town called Hightstown, very kind of colonial, not a big town, not a small town, great diner across the street. And it was one of our most fun record shopping experiences when we went out in June, because we went, my mom came with us record shopping. I mean, we haven't seen her in 8 years. We couldn't like, bye, go on record shop, leave you home. She went with us, and Randy, she's standing there while we and Heidi are walking around shopping for records, and Randy couldn't have been nicer. He was talking to her, offered her a chair. They talked about travel and stuff, but I could tell my mother was getting a little bored, so let me let you out to the car. And I already checked out, and Heidi said, all right, I'll be here for a minute. You go put your mom in the car. And we were sitting out there. I'm like, where the hell is Heidi? And I go in, and Heidi's almost in the back room with Randy because she's on this huge Sparks kick, and he's a huge Sparks fan, and he's showing her his poster he has framed and talking about his experience booking them into his club and everything. Just couldn't have been a nicer, more personable guy. And Heidi bought a ton of Sparks stuff from him because he just had all his stuff out there and was just pulling stuff out of nowhere. But I bought a few things, of course. I don't know if any of you are a big Who fan. You might know who Binky Phillips is. He's like New York City's biggest Who fan, starting way back in '66. He writes for the Huffington Post, all his experiences with the Who and everything. And he was part of the early CBGB scene and on the scene with the Dolls, but he was like one of those guys who the brass ring was always out of reach. Something happened that would always screw him up. And tying it back to Sparks, he actually auditioned to play in Sparks back in the early 70s when they moved to England, but he didn't get the gig. The story's up there in Huffington Post, and it's really funny what the things he says. But he finally did get to make a record in 1987 for Caroline. It's just called Binky Phillips. There's no self-titled, 5 songs, very Who-like power pop, I'm told. It's got a insert a little bio in there, because I think this may be a promo. I don't know, but it isn't. So this should be a good listen. He sadly never got to record anything up until this time. I know they did some Planets demos, and he's recording now. So Binky Phillips, self-titled EP on Caroline, 1987. And then my next purchase from Randy's, if I get this in here, wasting valuable time. Always saw this record around. We even had it at our store. I had downloaded it from a blog years ago, and I always intended to get one. And I'm a sucker for anything on Tower. It's just such a weird label. This is the Cambridge concept of Timothy Clover, a Harvard Square affair. No one's been able to figure out, is it a solo artist or is it a band called Timothy Clover? But Again, not in the greatest shape. This is starting to be, you know, enter from all four sides. But it has that great orange umber tower label that, you know, just I find it's so dull. I find it attractive. Um, but the one track on here that always stood out for me is a thing called Trolley Car Line, which has some Who-like power chords in it. They're obviously a Boston band or artist, maybe part of the Boston hype, but not the Boston hype on MGM with all those bands like Beacon Street Union and whatnot. This next one, I actually owned this record at one time, but I don't know, I guess I didn't care for it. And I sent it off to my friend Robert in Marin County because we're both a huge fan of the band this band came out of. We both like this British band Family. This is Chapman Whitney and Streetwalkers. Later, they just started calling themselves Streetwalkers. It's Roger Chapman and Charlie Whitney of Family, striking out on their own after Family disintegrated, disbanded. This is a British copy on British Reprise. Let's, you know, you guys who are suckers for British vinyl, like me, there you go. It's supposed to be a very good, strong record. I haven't played it again. I haven't played it yet. It's got a lyrical insert in there. And this is from like 1974. So this should be a good listen. I know they made one or two more records, which should be a... And I think Cherry Red just did deluxe of this. And of course, it being us, it wouldn't be a JT and Heidi Lee shopping trip without finding some Kinks. This is a very old bootleg. Don't Touch That Dial, the soap opera in concert, a live recording of the soap opera shows. And the weird thing I read about this is there's two pressings. And the first one had something wrong with the pressing where one channel disappears for a while or didn't show up on the record. So they repressed it, but the repressed one, which is corrected, was the one the FBI confiscated and destroyed all the copies. So there's more copies of the defective one out there than the good one. I don't know which one this is, but I got a gut feeling that we're going to see a soap opera box this year or next year from the Kinks. And it might have this live show on there. But this was, I think, like Randy's personal copy because he said he saw them on his tour. So that was cool. And of course, it wouldn't be a JT record shopping trip without buying some garage rock. On Norton, this is Alien Cycles and Wild Things, rare and unissued Virginia Garage 64 to 67. And of course, it's got a cover of Hey Joe on there and some other things. I know there's one song on here, I think the Mummies did, called Baba Diddy Baby. And of course, it has the very well annotated notes from Norton on there. So this should be a cool listen. Great stuff. Nothing else on here that I recognize. No, but it should be good. So that's what I got from Randy Now's Man Cave in Hightstown, New Jersey. The third and final store we went to, the same day as Randy's, we drove over to Bordentown and went to the Record Collector. That's their card right there if you want to know who the hell they are. Store, my friend Bill Luther of the Anorak Thing blogspot goes to a lot besides Prince and Record Exchange. Pretty cool store, very well stocked, a lot of stuff. Kind of a quiet owner, but not unfriendly. The woman working there, who I think was his wife, was extremely helpful. Another one that was talking to my mom quite a lot, offered her a chair, and even went to the back room and dug out things they were selling online for Heidi to look at and purchase of another artist she's getting into, Robert Palmer. Prices fair to decent, maybe on some things a little high, but when I compare them to other places, like, no, that's a pretty good price. On the main street there, parking was pretty good. So let me show you what I got there. I mainly, of course, hit the rock sections. And I got another installment in the Highs in the Mid-60s series. Volume 18, Colorado. An early astronaut single is on here. The Poor, featuring, who was in The Poor? I think one of the guys from the Eagles, not that I like the Eagles, but it's one of their early singles. The Moonrakers, who I thought I had their actual single, but I don't. I have somebody else, The Rebounds. The Rainy Days, The Monocles, the Doppler Effect, The Moonrakers. I think I have the Moonrakers single. I'm thinking of The Rebounds on Tower. They're both on Tower. This is another one on the phony AIP label, which is basically Bomp. But these are great comps. I got a couple of these. They're a little bit not needed now because a lot of these songs have shown up on CD from master tapes and better reissues. But if you're looking to start your garage collection in Psych, this is one series to really check out. I mean, there's 18 or more volumes of this stuff, so those are cool. This one is neat. This comes from Sunday's Beat Rocket subsidiary, the E-Types, live at the Rainbow Ballroom, 1966. You know the E-Types from their most well-known song, Put the Clock Back on the Wall. This is, of course, live, and they do mainly cover versions, Beatles, Yardbirds, Zombies, Beau Brummels, what else on here? The Who, they do The Kids Are Alright. But what is cool about this is, one of these heads down here, somewhere in this area, I can't really pinpoint out, he can probably show me, is my very long-time online friend Ron Sanchez of KGLT in Bozeman, Montana. He attended this show, and he's somewhere in this photo. That's his head in there. He grew up in the Bay Area, California, and attended this show. I think several bands are on the bill. So that's like really cool. When this came out, and he's like, hey, there's my head. So the E-Types, live at the Rainbow Ballroom, 1966. Next. I always wanted to get this from Norton, and when I bought this, I'm like, man, I paid a lot for this than I should have, but brand new on Norton, it's a little more, and this is used, and it's a little rough looking on the cover. This is the Junior Rayman, Rumble 66. What this is Link Ray's, I believe, nephew and two of his friends as an instrumental trio, rocking out on some Link Ray and the Rayman tracks, and an original called The Rat Fink. They do Unbranded, Ace of Spades, Jack the Ripper. They do Rumble as Rumble 66, and then the one called The Rat Fink. Of course, it's on Norton, so it's got to be good. You know me, I like guitar instrumentals. This one, originals of this are really hard to find, and when you find them, they're destroyed, because it was basically a children's record. And they reissued it on Record Store Day, so I was happy to find this at the Record Collector in the racks. This is At Home with the Munsters, originally on Golden from 1965. This was Record Store Day 2021. Now, I have an original of the Munsters record on Decca, which is not the television showcast. It's a bunch of studio musicians masquerading as the Munsters, doing Munsters-related songs. I have an original LP of that and the CD on Real Gone. But this is the cast singing songs in character. I had downloaded this off a blog too years ago, but I didn't keep it for some reason. It has a die-cut cover. I have heard this. I haven't just played my copy yet. I think it's on blue vinyl, which what does blue vinyl got to do with the Munsters? You think it'd be on green or something? But I love the Munsters. One of my favorite 60s TV shows, right there in the top 5 of my comfort television list, if you like to say. I always like to tune in, so that should be fun. And the last one I found, I was not surprised to find this, but no, kind of surprised. I wasn't looking for it. I happened to see it being auctioned off or sold on an online auction recently, so that looks cool. I'll keep an eye out for that. And a week later, I find it at the Record Collector. Bop and Cadillac, authentic 50s rock and roll. All 50s rockabilly, rock and roll artists doing songs about cars. The first side is mainly all Cadillacs. The other side is just cars. But it's got the great artwork taken from Cadillac brochures. So Bop and Cadillac. It says Cadillac Records, Detroit, Michigan, but it's basically a bootleg. You know, like everything else, highs and mid-60s and Pebbles. So this is going to be pretty cool. I think my friend Alex has this too. This is going to be pretty fun to listen. So that's everything I got from the Record Collector in Bordentown, New Jersey. And that's it for this short little solo video from me. Like I said at the start, I just wanted to do a video to keep things alive, keep the channel active, let you guys know that we're still out there, still alive, still watching your videos, commenting when we can, and liking and subscribing. We have just moved everything over to Instagram, like I said, because it's just less labor intensive. But we're out here, we're watching, we're digging it. Hello to all our friends that we know out there, especially Steve Carlson, that old goat. Glad to see him back. We're enjoying his little videos. Cool guy. And you know, everybody else, JT's Record Room. I didn't make a list, but you know who you are, you know who you like. So, and like I promised, I was going to take a quick shot of the condition of the music room right now, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like why I'm in front of the closet, although there's records in here too. So take care of yourselves, be good, comment as you like, but be constructive, not destructive. See you later. All right, as I said, here's the state of the music room now. As you see, it's kind of a pain in the ass to move all of that to get the chair there and set up my camera and everything. But that entire stack there is stuff, Christ, going back to early this year before New Year's that I haven't gotten around to listen yet. Stuff just comes in so quickly. I don't have all the time in the world to listen to it. Since we discovered online auctions like Colectco, when I buy things on eBay, I'm sitting. Like, it's hard to resist when I'm sent an offer on something. I'm like, oh, that's really cheap, even with the postage. I've been looking for that record. Maybe I should do a flip video of those, but I know you guys probably like me talking about the records and the trivia about it, so I like to listen to them again. I mean, I even got the Beach Boys box set and the Goat's Head Soup to listen to, and those two Sabbath ones, although I got halfway through that Sabbath one. But yeah, this is the state of our music room right now. And there's even CDs up there waiting to be listened to. I'm slowly getting through those. But that's all of it right now. I just got that Mal Evans book. I took advantage of Amazon Prime Day and got that cheap. And Heidi Lee scored something she loves very much from her childhood. You can kind of see them there. All the Sweet Pickles storybooks for those of you from the 80s that were children then who remember those. But yeah, that's where we are right now. This is the music room. There's the closet where I was. So thanks all for watching, and we'll see you on the next video, and hopefully see you over on Instagram. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, JT here, one half of the So I Married a Record Collector duo, just coming at you with a short, well, barely, fuck that.